Hey boys and girls, hopefully by now all three pieces of your paper are dry and we are actually going to assemble our water lilies. So this part takes a little bit longer. The things you're going to need are a little bit different than in the last video, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So you're going to need all three pieces of your paper. You're going to need the one you use for your water lily, the one that we're going to use for your petals, and of course your water. Now if you look at mine, you see that the salt has actually turned into itty bitty crystals, and in some areas we can now see like that little bit of reflection in the water, which is a really cool effect of salt with watercolor paint. The first step we're going to do is we are actually going to cut out your lily pad. So I'm going to take my lily pad and my scissors and I'm going to carefully cut it out so I can attach it to my water. And I'm going to follow my lines as carefully as I can. And if you don't quite get on your lines, that's okay, as long as they're close. I'm going to cut all the way around until I have my beautiful lily pad, all nice and cut out. Now, the next thing is we're going to attach it to our water. So what you're going to need is a glue stick and your paper with the water. Now, if you noticed, sometimes the salt sticks to the surface anyway. You might want to give it a little bit of a brush. And there we are. Now, the next thing is attaching it. So what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully attach this to our lily pad, to the water. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to kind of figure out how I want this to go, because sometimes maybe I want it a little off to the side, maybe I want it over here. I'm going to go ahead and just think about that for a second. So I'm actually going to put mine like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my lily pad over and I'm going to apply a really gentle amount of glue to it. And as you know, boys and girls, I always appreciate it when people use the perimeter. The perimeter is the area around the shape. So I'm going to go around the perimeter first, and then I'm going to put a little bit on the inside. I'm going to carefully pick it up and place it on my water. And there is my lily pad and my beautiful watercolor paper. Now, the next thing is going to be assembling the petals. That can be a little bit tricky sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this off to the side, let the glue dry, and I'm going to come back over here to my colorful paper, the paper that has all this beautiful color to it that I picked. Now remember, mine is red and yellows. Yours might be purples. It might be a completely different color. It was completely up to you. What you're going to do is you're actually going to turn it over, and with a pencil, you're going to draw out some petals. Now, if you have trouble drawing petals, I have a little trick for you. If you start off with a rainbow and then a smile. Now, we want our petals to have, we want some big ones and we want some little ones. And more is always better than less. So I'm going to start off with some bigger petals. And then I'm going to move on to some smaller ones. But as many as you can get. And remember, if you have trouble with petals, that smile or that frown, and then a smile. or a rainbow, and a smile is another way to think of it. I'm going to fill up the whole back with my petals. And then the next part is, of course, to cut them out. All right, so once you're done drawing out the petals, you're going to take your scissors and start cutting them out. I'll see you guys in a minute to show you how to glue them to your paper.